Hey guys, welcome to Cinematic Tendency, and today we are going to continue with this classic TV series, this time with episode 5. And as always, I'm going to remind you that you can watch the entire series on Peacock or you can buy the DVDs. So today is going to be a little bit different because I have a guest. Yes, that's right. I'm gonna have a guest for the first time here in this channel, so I am excited about it. Anthony and I met here on YouTube, and he already had me 4 times over on his channel, 3 times to review a movie, and the 4th time it was a live stream. He recently reached 1,000 subscribers, so that was beautiful. He has great content in his channel. He does movie reviews. He also does live streaming, TV shows. He loves anime as well. And also, he's a huge, humongous Star Wars fan. There is a link to his channel down in the video description below. So make sure that you click there, check out his content, check out his channel, and subscribe. Alright, so now let the mystery begin. This episode is titled Into Thin Air, and the original broadcast was on October 30th, 1955. It was directed by Don Medford, known for directing episodes of The Twilight Zone from 1960 to 1963. In this episode, we have Pat Hitchcock starring, and of course, she's Hitchcock's daughter. The story takes place in 1899. We have a young woman and her mom on a trip to Paris World's Fair. They both check in to a local hotel. When the mother becomes sick, her daughter goes to get medicine, only to return and discover her mother has disappeared and no one at the hotel claims to know her or to remember her. And before I share my thoughts, let's hear what Anthony has to say.
On Cinematic Tendency and all his viewers. A big thanks, my friend, for having me here in a video. And yeah, you wanted me to hop in to the middle of this series to talk about the 5th episode of the 1st season of Alfred Hitchcock Presents. This is a show that I've never seen before, and so this was the first time I've ever seen anything of it, and I'm actually pretty intrigued to maybe start watching a little bit more. I did talk a little bit with Cinematic prior to this. He did not want me to jump into spoilers, so I'm going to stay away from spoilers from the whole episode overall, but I am going to talk, I guess, about the general premise of the episode, which is, I thought it was really cool. I like the idea of this show where Alfred Hitchcock is, giving you kind of a prompt in a way, kind of like setting you up for this episode that's going to be its own story, and you don't really have to worry about the episodes connecting, and it's just going to be their own little, black and white, old school, TV and movie, old school cinema TV show. I really enjoy it, kind of being able to watch it in today's world. And what I can say is the performances, mainly from his daughter, who is the lead in this skit or in this short that's part of this episode, I really like that. I believe the episode was called Into Thin Air, and yeah, the basic premise is that there's this young girl who comes with her mother who starts to get a little bit exhausted, and her and her mother show up to this hotel, and then her mom just disappears. And I won't get into any much more than that. Cinematic said he didn't want any spoilers for what ends up happening in the episode. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting premise, and I enjoyed watching the episode overall. What I can say is that by the end of it, I didn't really care for the outcome, like the big reveal that actually ends the episode. I felt like they could have gone so many other cool ways with it, because there was a lot about it and all these little hints and nods at things, I was actually intrigued that I really was into the mystery of the episode because I didn't know where it was going to go. And then it ended and it just kind of fell flat for me as just kind of being like, oh, that was the reason, that was the explanation for everything that's been happening in this episode. Maybe that's just me, but it just didn't really stand out to me. But what I can say overall is that I thought that the main actress in this clip or in this episode, again, who is Alfred Hitchcock's daughter, I thought she did a good job. I really was into her performance, and I was into the performance of a lot of these people. But overall, as somebody who is a fan of old school black and white, movies and TV shows, and it just kind of harkens back to a time that I'm nostalgic for, just because I watched a lot of it on TV as a kid. Yeah, it was nice to see something like this. I am interested in maybe watching a little bit more of this show. So a big thanks to Cinematic for having me here in this video. If you guys have not checked out Alfred Hitchcock Presents, it's currently on Peacock. I'm sure that Cinematic has already said that or will already say that. And yeah, I think it's worth checking out. I think it's a cool, different kind of show to check out if you are a fan of old school cinema. If you're a fan of Alfred Hitchcock, I think there's definitely something there to check out. So a big thanks to you guys for watching. My name is Anthony A. Perez. You can find the link to my channel, I'm assuming, in the description box. And if not, if you just type in Anthony A. Perez movie reviews, you should find my channel where I talk about all kinds of things, movie, TV related, Star Wars, so many different things that I talk about on my channel. So a big thanks once again to Cinematic Tendency for having me here in this video, and I'll hand it back to you now, my friend. Thank you again.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for being here in this video. So yes, I am on the same page with Anthony about one thing, and I am gonna tell you a little bit more about it in 1 minute. Out of the first 5 episodes, this one is my second favorite so far. And one of the reasons is because the story, it really got my attention from the very beginning. It engaged me, it grabbed me, and at times it made me scratch my head a little bit as I was trying to solve the mystery without no results. I appreciated the performances, they were solid, in addition to the fact that some actors spoke French and also English with French accent. This little detail is important to me when I am watching a story that is taking place in another country where English is not the primary language. This is kind of related to what I'm saying. I don't agree that Scarlett Johansson doesn't try to speak with a Russian accent every time she's playing as Black Widow. However, that story is for another video. This episode does a good job keeping the story interesting and also with a lot of mystery all the way until the very last minute. However, at the very last minute, they explain what really took place. They explain the whole situation. They get a little bit into details. I don't know, man. It didn't satisfy me, especially after watching the episode only one time. But I have to say that the explanation makes sense, but still, I don't know, it kind of fell flat for me. And again, let me remind you that this episode is my second favorite episode so far. What about you? Have you seen this episode yet? If so, let me know your comments about this episode down below. Anthony, again, thank you so much for this collaboration video. I appreciate it, brother. And thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And once again, let me remind you that there is a link to Anthony's channel down in the video description below. Please check it out and subscribe. And guys, I'm going to see you very soon in another video. And until then, choca la mano.